Good morning, friends. It is time to continue our reading of First Kings. Thank you for joining us as we read this morning. So, we are starting chapter 9 this morning. And so, looking at the big board, not only of First Kings, but indeed of First and Second Kings together in the remembrance that these were one united book originally, what we know as these two books. On the big board, narrowing in further, we are right here. Chapters 9 through 11, the downfall of Solomon, where the striking commentary of Solomon's reign is that his downfall, in his downfall, he resembles Pharaoh more than David. David, his father. David, the model for what a king in Israel should be and look like and how that one should act. And by the way, David was by no means perfect. So it's not exactly a high bar that's set. But Solomon walks away from that. Oh, yeah. You know what? And I'm going to take a brief moment since there's that comment on this window of the big board to read Deuteronomy 17, just out of curiosity. Chapter 17 of Deuteronomy. Not offering a sacrifice that has any defects. Um, Not to do evil in the sight of God. Oh, kingship. The last section of chapter 17, there is the permission to establish a king over the nation, but it will not be a foreigner. It will be one who must be from within the community, and and it must be a member of the house of Israel, a Jew, who does not acquire many horses for himself or return the people to Egypt in order to acquire more horses. And he must not acquire many wives for himself, or else his heart will turn away. Also, silver and gold he must not acquire in great quantity for himself. When he has taken the throne of his kingdom, he shall have a copy of this law written for him in the presence of all the Levitical priests, and it shall remain with him, and he shall read in it all the days of his life, so that he may learn to fear the Lord his God. Oh boy. Now keep that all in mind. Chapters 9 through 11, Solomon's downfall. Good morning again, Mom, and good morning again, Don and Linda. And let's read, friends. I'll be reading from the left-hand column, the Complete Jewish Bible. The text is found in the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition is in the right-hand column. I will mainly use that here to point out what the Jewish names, Hebrew names of these persons, places, and things are that don't sound familiar to us. Like, for example, Shlomo is Solomon, and like, for example, Adonai is God. A more generic way of referring to God that is still, in a sense, calling God by name, but not using the sacred name of God that is translated so often in English Bibles, English Christian Bibles, as Lord, only in a way that sets it apart. Regular uppercase capital L and then smaller case capitalized ORD, which is the equivalent to YHWH, the sacred name of God that is believed by our Jewish friends to be so holy that only God can speak it. Let's read. After Shlomo had finished building the house of Adonai, the royal palace, and everything else he wanted to build for himself, Adonai appeared to Shlomo a second time as he had appeared to him in Gibeon. Remember, that was the place where Solomon asked in a dream in the night for discernment, for wisdom. Verse 3, Adonai said to him, I have heard your prayer and your plea that you made before me. I am consecrating this house which you built and placing my name there forever. My eyes and heart will always be there. As for you, if you will live in my presence, as did David your father, in pureness of heart and uprightness, doing everything I have ordered you to do, and observing my laws and rulings, then I will establish the throne of your rulership over Israel forever, just as I promised David your father when I said, you will never lack a man on the throne of Israel. But if you turn away from following me, you or your children, and do not observe my mitzvot, teachings, instruction, commandments, do not observe my mitzvot and regulations which I have set before you, and go and serve other gods, worshipping them, then I will cut off Israel from the land I have given them. This house which I consecrated for my name, I will eject from my sight, and Israel will become an example to avoid and an object of scorn among all peoples. This house, now so exalted, everyone passing by will gasp in shock at the sight of it, and will ask, why has Adonai done this to this land and to this house? But the answer will be, it's because they abandoned Adonai, their God, who brought their ancestors out of the land of Egypt, and took hold of other gods, worshipping and serving them. This is why Adonai brought all these calamities on them. At the end of 20 years, during which time Shlomo had built two buildings, the house of Adonai and the royal palace, King Shlomo gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee. Recall that Hiram, the king of Tyre, had supplied Shlomo with cedar and cypress logs, and with all the gold Shlomo wanted. Hiram came over from Tsor to see the cities Shlomo had given him, but he wasn't satisfied with them. He said, "What kind of cities are these which you have given me, my brother?" So they have been called the land of Kabul, good for nothing, till this day. Hiram had sent the king 4 tons of gold. Following is the account of the forced labor levied by King Shlomo for building the house of Adonai, his own palace, the Millo, the wall of Jerusalem, and the cities of Hatzor, Megiddo, and Gezer. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, had gone up, taken Gezer, burned it to the ground, and killed the Canaanite living in this city. Then he had given it as a dowry for his daughter Shlomo's wife. Canaanites. That's what Canaan is. Canaanites. And there, oh so subtly, remember the law says also not to take a foreign wife. Oh, Solomon just took the daughter of Pharaoh, the Egyptian king, an Egyptian princess, to be his wife. Actually, this has happened already, but this is being recorded here now. Verse 17. So Shlomo rebuilt Gezer. He also built lower Beth Horon. Okay. Baaleth. Tadmor in the desert, in the land, as well as the cities that Shlomo used for, as well as the cities that Shlomo had for storing supplies, the cities for his chariots, the cities for his horsemen, and the other building Shlomo wanted to build for himself in Jerusalem, in the Lebanon, and throughout the land he ruled. All the people still left from the Amorites, Hittites, Prizi, the Perizzites, Hivi, the Hivites, and the Yevusi, the Jebusites, who were not part of the people of Israel. That is, their descendants remaining after them in the land, whom the people of Israel were not able to destroy completely. From them Shlomo levied his forced labors, as it is to this day. But Shlomo did not raise any of his forced labor from the people of Israel. Rather, they were the soldiers, his servants, administrators, and commanders, and the officials in charge of his chariots and horsemen. There were 550 chief officers over Shlomo's work in charge of the workers. Why only these outsiders? Oh, right, because the law prohibited enslaving your brother. You could do that to others, outsiders, but not to your brother, not to someone on the inside. Solomon remembers that. He doesn't so much remember the part about not taking four wives, though. And that's going to become more and more of a problem very quickly. Very, very quickly. But that's where we're going to pause, friends. And next time we'll pick up here at verse 24. Peace be with you, dear friends. Have a blessed day.